Hello there and happy Friday. It's Friday at 5 p.m. So, of course, I decided to make a video on offers because why not? So, this is by far the most important but most boring video I'm probably ever going to make. It's probably the one that's going to get the least amount of views in the history of this channel, but it's also the most important because this is the foundational piece. This is more important than what you sell. This is more important than anyone you hire. This is more important than your operations. This basically is the foundation of your business. Every business has an offer, and some offers suck, some are really good, some suck and still make a lot of money, but the ones that make a lot of money, most of them are what we call irresistible offers. And so what I want to go through with you in this video is how to create an irresistible offer. So there's 7 key steps here. Now, the first thing is we have to understand what an offer really is. A lot of people think an offer is just I do this. So I clean cars, I sell Facebook ads, I run your Facebook ads, I make pizzas. But that's not what it is. That's just the actual service. That's the product. The offer is the outcome. Okay. Now you might think this looks super ugly, and this actually is, I think, the biggest fonted word on the whole sheet. I did that on purpose because that is exactly what an offer is. An offer is not like what you're selling, it's what people actually want. So a winning offer and an irresistible one has a result that you promise, a timeline you deliver it in, a risk reversal, and then also bonuses and stacks on top of it to make it very, very valuable. Now, we're going to use a very basic framework. I'll help you achieve specific result in time frame. Without that, or you blah blah blah, or you risk reversal. Right now, an example of this is I will help you book 30 appointments in 30 days without running ads, or we will refund you in full. Okay, that's an example of it. That's the framework that we're going to stick to. It's very, very common, but I promise you it works wonders. If you throw that on any ad, it will slap most of the time. It's really very hard to get a negative ROAS if you do that. The second step is to get crystal clear on what that desired outcome is. Okay, so now it's basically we're breaking down the layers of it. So, what's the result that they want? What is that outcome? Now, the outcome is you have different outcomes you can offer, right? So if we're talking about B2B specifically, then obviously what you want to be doing is selling money. Okay, you want to be selling either. There's only 3 reasons why people buy in B2B. It's either to save money, make money, or save time. It's nothing else. So that's pretty much what you want to make your desired outcome. So you want to ask yourself, what's the big result that they want? How are they going to measure success? And then what's that emotional payoff for them if they get it as well? So, for example, if you're a marketing agency, your offer is not SEO, your offer is ranked #1 on Google for your top 5 keywords in 90 days, or you do not pay. Another one, and that's the same framework as I showed you below there. Another great one is, get 30 appointments in 90 days, and we will, again, refund you. Like I said before, another one off the top of my head, you can make one about sales as well. I mean, you can make one about closed sales if you really want to risk it. You can literally say, we will guarantee you another $1 million in revenue in the next 12 months, and we will refund you, everything if we don't get that, right? I mean, you can make different ones. It's all about how big of a risk you want to take, how confident are you in your services, and how reputable are they really for that customer as well. The third step is identifying and removing the friction points. Now, people have way more reasons not to buy than to buy. Way more. So they might not like the price. They might not trust you. They might not like your process. They might have been completely screwed over in the past and they don't want to move forward with someone, right? They have a lot of reasons they want to buy too, but we all know that people can pull something random out of their butt and just make something up as to why they don't want to buy. But they have a lot more reasons not to buy than to buy, and that's why it's your job as the marketer to remove all of those friction points. So ways to do this, you can guarantee something. So if you don't see results in 60 days, we'll work for free until you do. You can also have a risk reversal. So, okay, pay after we deliver the result. Or if we don't deliver the result, we'll refund you in full. You can also make it low commitment. So start with a 14-day trial. A big one, especially if you're a marketing company, is a common fallacy is that they all lock their clients into like year-long contracts. I've never signed up a 12-month customer, so I'm honestly mind blown that that even is a thing. But that's a big discrepancy that the market feels. It's like they think that every marketing company just wants to sell them into a 12-month contract. If you say it's month to month and they don't have to stay at all, they can leave after 30 days. That's a big selling point that I would 100% be, you know, on. It's definitely one that's going to help you guys get more sales. But basically, the summary of this as to why we're doing it is because the fewer doubts that your prospect has, the faster that they're going to say yes. So it's your job here to just remove doubt from their mind, remove every single possible reason why they wouldn't buy. And the offer doesn't 100% do that, but the offer can do a good job at the majority of that. Because if you say, if we don't do this, you won't pay, that's like the most common one pretty much. That takes away the price, okay? Because we're going to refund you if we don't do this. Takes away the uncertainty because we're going to refund you if we don't get you the result. Bad past experience. Well, did your other agencies that you worked with offer you that guarantee? Oh, no. Well, that's why, right? So you're basically removing all the friction. It's making it a lot easier for your prospect to buy. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to say yes. Really quickly summed up what that really means. All right, so number 4 here is to add urgency and scarcity. Now, there are so many ways you can do this, especially depending on where and who and what you're selling. But a few ideas that I had off the top of my head: limited spots per month. So you can say we were only able to take on this many customers per month. Price increases after a certain date. So if you don't sign up by tomorrow, the price is going to jump 50%. Uh, Time sensitive bonuses. So you could say, for example, oh, well, if you buy today, you're going to get a one on one with the founder. But if you don't buy today, you're not going to get that one on one. Another common one is saying that we only work with one company per area. I don't think you should do that unless that's the truth. I think it's a little unethical. But needless to say, there are companies out there that go to, uh, med spa franchises, and what they'll say to them is, hey, we're a marketing company. We only work with one company per area. So if you want to work with us, great. But if you don't, then we're going to come in and work with your competition and crush you. That also can work, right? You're adding urgency and scarcity. I think that's a great way to add a lot of spice to an offer. An example of this is only 5 new clients accepted this month to protect service quality. So that's another thing. When you do add urgency and scarcity, you also need to provide a reason as to why that urgency or scarcity is there. So, for example, if you're saying limited spots per month, well, you have to say we're doing that because we don't want to sacrifice the quality of our service. If you're saying one company per area, you should probably say that's because we don't want to create competition between everyone we work with, right? So you have to have a reason for the urgency and the scarcity. Otherwise, it really doesn't work that much, in my opinion. Step 5 is to stack the value. This is a huge one. Okay. So basically, when you are going through your pitch, most of the time your closers are going to have a demo deck that they're going through, which is basically just a PowerPoint presentation. And when you do that, or when they do that, they should have slides that break down every component of the offer. So like, we're doing SEO, making a website, ads, etc. And it should say what the value of it is at a much jacked up price tag, because then it creates a price anchoring in the prospect's mind where when they show the real price, the closer shows as the real price, then it's like it comes across as nothing. So, for example, if you add up all this right here on a pitch deck, the total comes up to $4,500. But if you then pitch it for $1,500, it seems like a crazy deal to that prospect. Now, it's interesting because most people know this tactic. Like even non-business people know that like this is just complete BS. Like it's like we all know that this might not actually be worth as much as it is labeled by. But in the prospect's mind, consciously, when they're sitting there on the sales call with them, they're not thinking that at all. This is not what's going through their head. they're actually like they're on the call for a reason because they have some sort of problem, they're in pain. And so when they're going through, or you're going through your deck, your pitch deck, they should be sold before you get into the pitch. That's where you do a good discovery phase, which I can make a whole nother video on that. But needless to say, um, the prospect is not thinking in their head, "Oh, this is not actually worth $2,000. This isn't actually worth $1,000." That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, oh my god, this is going to cost me $4,500." And then, you know, you show them next slide. Oh, it's only 1,500. Oh, discount. Wow. So I always stack the value. I think that's a great way to present your offer and break it down for people. That's the only part of this entire video where I will say, like, it's important that you properly present the actual service of what you're doing. Because, like I said, an offer is the outcome, the timeline, the risk reversal. This is where you're stacking the value of what you're actually doing. So if you're doing marketing, right, like SEO, websites, ads, all that stuff. The sixth step is to make it specific. So the more specific your promise, the more believable it is. So a horrible offer is, we will help you grow your business, or we will help you make more revenue, or we will help you open more locations. That is horrible because no one knows what that means. Like, people know what it means, but it's like, what am I getting? Like, if you're going to help me grow my business, because that could technically speaking mean you're going to add another dollar in revenue, right? So you want to make it as specific as you possibly can. So a bad offer will help you grow your business. A good offer will help you add 20% more revenue in 90 days without spending more on ads. I would also add in a industry specific keyword or lingo if you can. So if you are doing or working with like gyms, for example, I'd be like, if you're a gym owner, we'll help you open up 2 more locations in the next 100 days, or we work for free until we do, right? So that, make it as specific as you can. Don't put too much harness on the industry part. Put more focus and harness on the numbers part. So the actual quantifiable outcome, the timeline in which it's going to happen, the pain point that is without, that they're not going to have to deal with, and the risk reversal as well. The, or we'll refund you, we'll work for free, whatever it is for you, right? And then step 7 is test and refine. So you want to test out different combinations of all of these things, right? Because there's a difference. For example, I'll give you an example of this. So when I first started running ads, I had 4 offers I was testing. I was testing 10 appointments in 30 days, 30 appointments in 90 days, double your pipeline in 45 days, and then 10 closed clients in 90 days. My winning offer, if you had to guess of those 4, what do you think it would be? Most people would probably guess it's the 10 clients in 90 days. If you guessed that, you're wrong. It was actually the 10 appointments in 30 days. Now, as surprising as that is, that's how the market responded. So you have to now scale that offer or make just iterations of it. So 10 appointments in 30 days. All right, let's up it. 30 appointments in 30 days, right? Now that's going to depend on how confident you are in your service and all that stuff. But my point is that you need to find something that's going to work, because the market's not going to respond to any offer. Just because you use that framework that I have highlighted there, that does not mean that they're going to want to work with you. Because you could technically say, I'll help you book 10 appointments in 900 days. And like, it's like, no one wants that. Like, they can probably do that better on their own, right? So you have to make sure that it's good, it's quantifiably specific, and that it's in demand, okay? Because if it's in demand, you're going to be set. So wrap things up, how you create an irresistible offer and the example winning offer formula. I'll help you achieve specific result in time frame without common objection or you risk reversal, right? Copy and paste that framework, put it into ChatGPT if you want, give it your niche, give it what your service is, and tell it to come up with a few of these. Run some ads, run some emails, test them, comment below how you do, and I will see you in the next video.